Yeah. So I'm just waiting for one more minute. We shall wait for one more minute for a few of our other people to join, and then we shall get started. Also do this. I'm going to allow you to chat only with the hosts. Okay. And if there are any, yep, I have an option to disable a few options. I've disabled those. And I think after I do the screen share, I will disable another option, which is you people trying to scribble on the screen. Before we get started, is my voice clear? Am I visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Still people are joining in. I think it's high time that we get on to the discussion. I also see that um, there are quite a few people who are online as well, who are waiting to, still people are joining in. I think it's high time that we get on to the discussion. I also okay. Um, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session. Let the people join. That is absolutely fine. Let them join as and how their time permits. But we should not be penalizing those people who have joined on time, right? So that is what I believe. And let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. So we would be, over the period of next 24 hours, gaining a lot of knowledge in the space of generative AI and prompt engineering. Before that, I want to show you something really exciting by sharing my screen, of course, yeah? So let me share my screen and show you something which is really interesting for y'all, maybe, hopefully. What do you think are the salaries of prompt engineers going to be? Any guesses, anyone? Quickly, you might want to use the chat window or unmute and talk. What do you think would be the salaries of prompt engineers?
Maybe 20 lakhs per annum starting.
Maybe 20 lakhs per annum. Any other guesses?
1 crore, sir.
Ah, 1
1
crore.
crore.
Okay. So people are saying that salaries of prompt engineers on an average, they're getting 40 lakhs. Okay. So it ranges from 17.7 lakhs to 1.73 crores. Okay, that's one of the research article. Another article says that AI prompt engineers is a big career. They're getting up to 2 crores per annum. Right? Who are these prompt engineers? Okay, what is the kind of work that they do? $335,000. Okay, a few of the articles are saying this. I'm not saying this, yeah. I'm just searching on Naukri and it's a general Google search. AI prompt engineers is gaining popularity with the salaries of 2.7 crores in excess of that. Prompt engineers, do you think would simply mean I'll go to chat GPT kind of application and type something over there to get right response? Do you think that is prompt engineering?
No,
What do you think? Not
no,
really.
it's not.
Right? Prompt engineering means a lot more. How do you devise your prompts in an intelligent manner? And how do you put that in the GenAI application? So that no matter what kind of questions the end users ask, the prompt engineering aspect of the code should change your prompt and arrange your prompt in such a manner that it gives you the right response. That is the job of a prompt engineer. But trust me, AI and generative AI is changing the way we operate. It is changing the way we learn. And one of the gentlemen was saying that AI will not replace jobs. It will not replace humans. AI will replace those people who do not upskill in the space of AI, who do not use AI tools. Those people will be replaced. So whenever there is a new technology which is disrupting the way we work, it is better to adopt that. You make it a friend. You make AI and generative AI your friend, your buddy, your go-to person, and then things will be fine. Things will be smooth. All right. So with this premise and with this context, let's get started. Throughout the training, I promise you that you will be learning practical applications in the space of generative AI. We'll also try to understand what is artificial intelligence, what is generative AI, how are these two things different, what are a few real world projects in the space of AI, what are a few real world projects in the space of generative AI, and we will try to understand theory and we will do practicals. So this program will be a perfect culmination of theory and practical. But to tell you all that it will be practical oriented, I must certainly take you guys through the journey, through the entire journey of practical projects which we have handled until now. Okay. So those of y'all who are wondering on who this guy is, he is not even introducing himself, right? So let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Bharani Kumar Depuru. Okay. And friends, I'll share with you all my LinkedIn profile, but please excuse me because I would not be able to connect with you all. The reason being, not that I don't want to connect with you all, but LinkedIn allows to connect with only 30,000 people. And already I exhausted the 30,000 people connections. And then I have 54,000, 5,400 rather followers. So when you open my profile, you will be able to see an option which says follow, but you will not see an option called connect. If you follow, I think that is good enough. You will be in a position to message me. Okay. So it's not because I don't want to connect with you all. It's just that I don't have an option to connect, right? So I'm sharing with you all on the chat message, this link. If you all want to click on that and connect or follow me, I'll be more than happy. You can shoot out your messages to me. I'll address those hopefully because I'm pretty active on LinkedIn at least. Okay, point number one. Point number two, who am I, right? I'm a person who has close to 2 decades of experience, 20 years of experience roughly. I have a master's degree both from Indian School of Business, which is ranked as #1 in India. And I also have a master's degree from IIT Hyderabad. I work with companies such as HSBC, ITC, Indian Tobacco Corporation, Infosys, and Deloitte. Deloitte was the last company with which I was employed as an employee. Okay, what am I doing after that? We started 2 companies. One is called as 360DigiTMG, which is into the training services. Another is AI Spry, which is into AI services. We do projects for different customers. Of course, I'll touch upon those. And I'm also visiting faculty at Indian School of Business, where I've been teaching since 2019. I think that number there has to be updated. And then the date there should be. And then I also teach at London Business School, UK. Okay, that's in short about my profile. I teach on AI and generative AI. Okay, and I teach to people who have 0 years experience until people who have, say, 25 to 30 years of experience as well. That's a range of people that I train. Okay. Second important thing before we get started is that okay, this is our website. I'm sure you all have access to it. Post it here, just in case you want to access it. And there are certainly a couple of things that I want to explain. When you go to our website, I request you all to go to this learning resources. We built something called as Resume Optimization Hub. You will love it. Students will love it. It's an AI tool where you just need to upload your resume, upload the job description, which you find from job portals, and then click on Compare Now. You'll have an option called Compare Now. Quickly, it will do a comparison between the job description and your resume. And it will also highlight what are the keywords which are missing from your resume, because of which your resume is not getting shortlisted for the jobs. You can also select all these missing keywords and click on Generate Resume. And what it does is, it will give you templates, resume templates. You can select one of the templates and say generate, and it will generate a new resume for you, which will not have any grammatical mistakes, which will include all of these missing keywords in a natural manner. And also the chances of your resume getting shortlisted will increase. Okay. This is a perfect generative AI solution. And you can also select those keywords which were not part of your resume and say generate interview questions. And it will generate a lot of interview questions and answers. You can prepare well for the interviews also in this way. Okay. Very soon, we are also going to have an exhaustive job placement and job opening details on our website directly. And you will be able to apply to the various jobs. You need not worry on whether we are tied up with companies or not. Directly, you can go apply for the jobs, and there you go. Okay. The third most important is our YouTube channel itself. We post this. And a lot of questions we will be posting, friends, both for our people who are accessing this using our YouTube link and also those of you who connected here. There are a lot of things here, data analytics using Excel. We are connecting with a lot of industry experts. We are connecting with people who are working as, say, assistant vice president in a few of the banks, right? We are connecting with people who are working as data scientists in various companies such as Turing, DHL, people who are working with companies such as Admiral Group, Deloitte, Microsoft, etc. And these people are talking about the kind of projects which are done in the real world, A. B, how should one prepare to get into this field of data science? And to motivate you all, we are also on a weekly basis posting the details of our students who are getting jobs in different companies. In overseas companies like Al Shaya Group, Starbucks, and all that, Emirates, Malaysian Airlines, Cuman, UHL hospitals in Ireland, NHS in UK, and in US, so on and so forth, right? So all the success stories, how did they prepare? How did they become successful after getting trained through us? Those details are also listed. That's what I was thinking. I have to disable you all from on the screen. I forgot and someone started speaking. And you all, I think, are aware of Big Four companies also. A lot of faculty members also who wanted to get into this field got trained through us, and they are working with different companies, Capgemini, so on and so forth, right? So these are the Big Four companies, friends. Deloitte, Ernst & Young, KPMG, PwC. They pay very huge salaries, and the people who got trained are working in all these companies, all the Big Four companies. And multiple people are working, not one or two. Name Indian IT-based companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL, so on and so forth. You know, huge number of 10, 20 people who got trained through us are working in all these. That's probably a motivation for y'all, right? And if you all want to attend these kind of sessions which happen, I would certainly request you all to, there's a YouTube link that I anyways posted. Once again, I'm posting. I request you all to just click on that. You should have logged in using your Gmail account. All you need to do is subscribe. Simple, job done. Okay. And also on a daily basis, we will post questions. Okay. On a daily basis, we'll post questions about everyday session on our LinkedIn profile. I request you all to answer in the comment section. In the comments, you have to just put answers. That is an indication for us that you have been active and you have been really participating. That will help your learning get amplified. All right. You'll also towards the end get a certificate of participation. That certificate of participation is valuable because if you turn that in, other, if at all there are any other programs where we are working on, say, projects, will make you part of that. If we publish our projects on international journal, and if you're really active for all the days, we will include your name also. Your name gets added to the international journal as well. Of course, provided you say that, you know what, here is my participation certificate for this GenAI and prompt engineering, and I want to be part of a real world. Come, join us, work on the real world projects, gain that real world experience, and then become eligible to get your details added to the national journal. So a lot of benefits, faculty members. I'm extremely happy to be here. Okay, so let's get started with the training as well. Generative AI and prompt engineering. Again, I'm assuring you that we are going to give you a lot of value as part of the 24 hours that you're going to be with us. We will ensure that the time that you spend is worth it. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and LinkedIn also. I'll post in them. Thank you once again, AP State Skill Development Corporation, Academy for Skill and Knowledge, Kerala Additional Skill Acquisition Program. I thank you all. I thank the governments of these states, the Indian government, for a structured establishment like the skill body in various states. And without you all, I think we would not have been in this position delivering the session. These many faculty members who want to actually learn the real world concepts and contribute back to by training the students also on the real world concepts. How will this help? Help in improving the employability. This will help a few of you all probably take the route of becoming an entrepreneur, starting your and working on AI and Gen AI projects. I wish you all that, and let's get started. So what will be the agenda? We will look at a few of the AI preliminaries. It's very foundation, but that will, okay. And we will also explore a few of the AI and generative AI practical solutions. Then we will look at a methodology called as CRISP MLQ and how can you handle projects in a structured manner. That is CRISP MLQ. Then we will understand what are vector database, what is prompt engineering. Okay. We'll also talk about aspects. Then we will look at a few of the Gen AI frameworks, LangChain, Llama Index, etc. How do we use the Gen AI solutions? What is the difference between large language models, multimodal models, and large action models? We'll try to understand that. Then we will also end-to-end use cases of generative AI. What are a few of the projects that we have accomplished? Finally, whatever are the pending action items, right, or pending topics, like what are the ethical considerations? What are the different drawbacks? What are the advancements happening? What will be the future? Okay, what future looks like for us? And this and many more. Any questions from any of you before we get started? Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Mr.
Okay.
I can
Go-
hear. Please go ahead.
Okay. Can I have any previous knowledge for this one, for completing this workshop?
Not needed. We will be explaining you right from basics for generative AI and the topics and AI and Gen AI. So you need not have thorough knowledge. You can
Okay.
follow sessions.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Of it, you'll have a fair bit of understanding. I would not promise
Hello.
the knowledge equivalent to working on real world projects, but this is a good start. From here,
Hello, sir.
yeah. Hi.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Krishna. I'm from Vasavi, Tadepalligudam.
Hi, Krishna.
Actually, I've been seeing a advertisement by Cadbury. It is stating that do nothing, it will be there, no, sir. That type of.
Okay.
Do you remember, sir, that it will say the ad will be something like just do nothing.
Yeah.
It will happen like that. So later on, nowadays they have started an advertisement stating that we have to give unnecessary answers to the internet such that the AI will get confused and give wrong answers if we ask something to it. Because AI basically sees everything from the internet and learns, no?
True.
So is that true? I don't understand. If it is true that if you give n number of wrong answers in the internet, is it possible to manipulate AI for making or giving a wrong answer?
Okay. Sure, Krishna. See, internet data is so large that select few people who try to give or generate wrong data on the internet might not really be helpful. And also to train these large language models, people are looking at data from sources which is trustworthy, right? They are taking the data from trustworthy sources such as Wikipedia, Common Crawl data, some kind of literature data, etc. So they are ensuring that the quality of the data on which these large language models is trained is taken care of. But if you just generate some incorrect data by writing some incorrect blogs, etc., on the internet, then Google will penalize those blogs eventually, and you'll not even appear in the search results. And Google has a mechanism to remove such blocks, right? People are doing that. So fake news, fake data, algorithms are being built up so that these kind of things are countered. So that's my answer to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Parini
Krishna.
Kumar garu.
Hi,
Good evening,
hi,
sir.
hi,
Good evening. Good
Shaman.
evening.
Yeah, please go ahead. Good evening.
My doubt is very small.
Please.
Any LLMs or large language models or these AI models are training from the large bunches of the data.
True.
Whereas human being knowledge is a focused one based on their exploration.
True.
Is there any situation or is there future situations machines can even exceeds the thought process of the human beings? Will it happen?
Yes, ma'am. To answer this question, there is a lot of work and research going on in the space of AGI, artificial general intelligence, right? As of now, what people do is they are building AI and generative AI applications, which are extremely good at a specific task. Specific task. For example, say you ask large language model to generate a text. It does in an amazing manner for that specific task. But human, on the contrary, does a lot of things in parallel. Okay. Another example is self-driving cars. When you do self-driving car as a human, you might be driving the car. Okay. You might be also listening music. You might be talking over phone. Of course, you might have Bluetooth or speaker on, and while you're driving, you're doing all those things. And you also observe the things along. What are the new shops which have come up in the route that you're traveling? Immediately, if there's a red signal, you stop and all that. AI solutions at this point of time are not that mature, but AI does extremely good job with respect to individual tasks. Like, for example, if you build a vision-based application, it will look at the signal and apply brakes, right? It will listen to your speech and it will respond. It can do only that. Okay. For individual tasks, they are very good AI solutions. But for all the tasks put together, it's not as good. It's not as mature as human at this point of time. However, artificial general intelligence, and people are working on that, especially Elon Musk and Sam, who is looking into OpenAI, etc. They are promising that by 2027, they will make it happen.
Okay.
Okay. So it might happen, but robots taking over the world might not happen, but you will have systems which will think smarter than humans. Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I'm Kritika, sir.
Yeah, Kritika.
So I have a small clarification.
Yeah.
I'm from a management domain.
Yep.
So basically, I don't have any knowledge regarding this technical aspects.
Yep.
So what will be my takeaway from this FDP, sir?
Okay. So if you can just wait for only today, if you can attend entire session, I'm certain you will have different, you'll have a different version altogether. As of now, you're assuming that this will be completely technical driven, but not really. We will have right combination of management aspects and technical aspects so that even a person who's new to this field understands the concepts. Okay. Let's see. Let's delve deeper. All right. So first of all, people have, doubts, and their thought process is not really very clear on certain terms. For example, the first question is, what is artificial intelligence in the first place? Very basic question, right? Here, I wish to explain this using self-driving car example. Say you're a human and you have certain intelligence, that is human intelligence. Okay. As part of human intelligence, when you're driving a car, what do? You control the steering, you switch the lanes, you apply a brake when there is red signal, you change the gears, you do all these things using what? Human intelligence. If this human intelligence can be automated. Okay. If this human intelligence can be automated, and if your systems or computers can handle it, that is called as artificial intelligence. Human intelligence automated is artificial intelligence. It is not human intelligence, right? It is artificial. And your self-driving cars or driverless vehicles, autonomous vehicles, right? Unmanned, aerial vehicles, etc., UAVs, are a classic example of artificial intelligence today. They will automatically apply the brakes. They'll automatically change the gears. They'll automatically switch the lane. For example, if you're drowsy, the drowsy sensor will capture, or there'll be a camera which will be 360 degree, which will also face towards you. It will also look at the road. It will also face you. And the moment you are sleepy or using your seatbelt sensors, if it detects that you're drowsy, it will automatically switch the lanes and take you to the slowest of the lane and eventually park you. So human intelligence automated using some system is artificial intelligence. And how are artificial intelligence systems built? Using data science concepts. Data scientist is a person who works on data. Any scientist, what does a scientist do? They will do deeper and deeper analysis on the topic. Someone who is into pharmacy as a scientist will look at what are the different drugs we need. How should I mix all these different components or molecules or compounds so that I get a stable drug at the end of the day? That's the job of a scientist working in pharma. Scientists working in the data will delve deeper into the data. They will look at all dimensions of data from different angles, and they will be eventually bringing out meaningful insights from the data. They will be called as data scientists. The field that they work is called as data science. Then you have something else which is called as data mining. Everyone is aware of coal mining or minerals mining. When you mine, you will get coal, of course, but sometimes if you're really lucky, if you dig at the right place, you might get precious metals like diamond, etc. Data mining is like that. When it comes to data, you keep digging into the data to, come up with interesting insights. And if you're lucky enough, you'll get insights which are as meaningful and as precious as diamonds. Then you also have something called as machine learning. Machine learning does not mean typical machines or robots learning something, right? It doesn't mean that. Machine learning is just a topic named. But machine learning means that machine will be learning the patterns within your data. What kind of patterns? Say you have a manufacturing plant. Okay. In that manufacturing plant, you have machinery which manufactures different substances, right? Like we have Coca-Cola, which has been one of our client. So what Coca-Cola does is it manufactures Coke, right? And the other soft drinks, which you can drink, right? When it is, when you manufacture Coca-Cola or Coke, etc., there'll be a lot of machines which will be involved. And certain machines all of a sudden fail because of overheating or because of overusing or because of some technical issue. That machine will fail. The moment it fails, if you capture all the details, such as when the machine failed, temperature value was so much, machine was vibrating a lot, so vibration value was so much, machine was giving a weird sound, so the sound value was so much, hydraulic pressure value was so much. All these details, if you capture when the machine fails, then your machine learning algorithm will actually learn that pattern, that when the temperature was so much, when the sound was like this, when the vibration value was so much, when hydraulic pressure was so much, machine failed. So in the future, when the values are more or less same, your machine learning algorithm will predict that your machine might fail. So your machine learning algorithm is all about learning patterns in your data. And there is a very specialized field called as deep learning. And usually deep learning algorithms work on unstructured data, meaning images, videos, etc. If you say supply an image, tumor image, okay, if you say supply tumor image, and if you say that, if a doctor says that, hey, this tumor image is cancerous, malignant, cancerous, then your deep learning algorithm, which is a part of machine learning algorithm family, this deep learning algorithm will learn the patterns from your image. It will look at your image, it will learn all the patterns from the image and say that, hey, this is cancerous. And in future, when similar kind of tumor images are provided, it already learned that pattern, right? So it will look at that image, new image, and say that, hey, this is cancerous. So your machine learning algorithms are nothing but algorithms which learn the patterns in your data. And when a similar pattern appears in the future, it will give you some predictions. Deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning, also does exactly the same, but majorly on unstructured data like images, video, audio file, textual data, etc. Of course, it works on structured data also, but majorly unstructured data. So this is one very important thing, friends, for you all to understand. I'm also going to periodically ask you questions and I request you all to respond so that, it becomes very engaging session as opposed to one-way session, right? Also, people have a lot of doubts on what is this data engineering rule? Data engineer is a person who is supposed to go get the data from different data sources. Like, say you have data on a website. Say you have data which is getting generated by your manufacturing machines, IoT sensors data. Say you have data on social media. The person who's responsible to get the data from these different data sources and put it into some kind of data, like database or data warehouse or data lake, etc., is called as a data engineer. Then, who will work on that data? Data analysts, data scientists, MLOps engineers, GenAI experts, all these people work on the data. So data analyst is a person who will take the data, okay, and analyze the data and give you reports and dashboards on what happened until now. Say you have sales data, your company's sales data. Data engineer will go pull the data from different sources. Maybe it is an Excel format. Some other department might be storing the data in a table in some database. So data engineer will pull the data from all these sources and put it in a common place. Data analyst will take the data and predict whether your sales is increasing or decreasing, or is it staying constant. Data scientist is a person who will take the same data and predict what might happen in the future. Okay. Then we have MLOps specialists whose job is to take this prediction model and deploy it so that the end users start using that model. And then you have GenAI prompt engineering expert whose job is to build GenAI applications. Okay. And GenAI is used to generate data. At this point of time, I would request you all to just give me one quick minute. Let me pick up the scribbling pad because without the scribbling pad, my life becomes a little difficult. Sorry about this. Just quickly taking a minute to connect to my scribbling pad. Yes. Now I think things will be clear. All right. So let me quickly draw something meaningful and show you. Okay. Thankfully, I'll be able to draw something meaningful. Say you have sales data. And say you have sales data and one of your departments, say logistics department, maintains this data in Excel format. Say you have another department which maintains the data in a tabular format in some database. So your data engineer will pull the data from all these different sources, and your data engineer will create a database. All this data would be in this database in different tables. Then your data analyst will create reports and dashboards on top of this data, which will answer questions on what happened until now. What happened until now? These questions, data analyst will answer. Then what about a data scientist? Data scientist also will take the same data and data scientist will predict the future, fortune teller. What might happen in future? Okay, this is what data scientist does. Then we have an ML ops specialist, machine learning operations. The job of this person is majorly, I repeat, majorly, to take the models which are built by data scientists. The models which are built by data scientists, what will happen? These models will help you predict the future. It will help you answer the questions such as what might happen in future. MLOps person is expected to ensure that this model is deployed, okay, and this deployed model must be usable. That is, end user should be easily able to use it and make it accessible to end users who actually want to use that solution, AI solution that you built. And then you also have Gen AI expert, generative AI expert. Gen AI expert is expected to build Gen AI solutions. Generative AI is meant to generate certain things, simple. Okay. In the next slide, I'm going to talk more about that. In the next slide here, I'll talk more about that. So machine learning, now it's clear, right? Machine learning is all about what? Learning patterns. Machine learning is all about learning patterns from your data. What kind of patterns are learned is something that I just explained, using some example. We'll learn more about that. And generative AI is meant to generate certain things. It can be used to generate text. It can be used to generate audio, that is music. Generative AI is also used to generate images. Generative AI is also used to generate videos. I want from y'all an answer on what are the other things which generative AI generates. Okay, this is a question I'm posting here. Our team will pick this up and post on the YouTube also. I request you all to also subscribe to YouTube. It will help you. What are the other things apart from what I've written on screen does GenAI generate? Please answer this question, everyone. You can answer on the chat window, or we will anyways post it on YouTube. You might want to generate. You might want to type. Let's see interesting things coming up. Content is text. Wow, good. So one interesting thing that our team is, or I'm getting on the screen is videos are generated. So people are also producing movies. Code is generated. Anything else? Interesting. A few of y'all are saying that this text which is generated, a lot of additional things can be done. Sentiment analysis, summarization, etc. Wow. Okay. Generative AI is also generating a few games. Yeah, sure. Not just the scenes, it is also coming up with games altogether, new avatars. Yep. New avatars is again similar to images. Anything else interesting? Designs, yeah, that is again images. Anything else? I'm looking out for something very, very interesting. Stories is similar to text. It will generate PowerPoint presentation itself. You need not worry about what else it generates, right? Anything else? Interesting, new technologies, graphs, websites. Wow. Yep. Nowadays, GenAI is also used to generate websites. True. Stories, product design, scripts, and all is related to probably some kind of tech applications. Yes, mobile apps, etc., are also being generated by GenAI. Wow. Yeah, it is used. Text is language translation. Healthcare models is a big thing, right, Veda? But yes, equations, math equations. Okay, this I think I have to put it here. Math equations, etc. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for being very involved in the discussion. I truly appreciate. Yes, absolutely. These are the various things which are getting generated. Interview questions again is something related to text. Yeah. AutoCAD drawings. Wow. Yes. This is a new thing where the CAD drawings are also getting generated using GenAI. True. And also, interestingly enough, yeah, 3D also. Yeah. Three-dimensional animation. Yeah. And now these generative AI solutions are going to the next level, and they are also coming up with some kind of prescriptions. Meaning, say you upload an image, a tumor image, it will say that you have cancer, and it will also prescribe. It will say that, okay, take these medicines or get some kind of chemotherapy or immunotherapy done. Right? It's going to the next level altogether. Wow, amazing, guys. Truly appreciate. Okay, so, and also, apart from that, you have large language models. Large language model itself says that We are talking about text, okay, LLMs. But people are also talking about large multimodal models. Like today, the ChatGPT application that you have, you can also upload images onto that, PDF documents onto that. You need not just type in text. Okay. You need not just type in the language. You can also upload images, documents, etc. Hence, it is called as large multimodal models. Also, you have large action models, etc. We'll get to that later. But these large language models, a few of y'all are, we're talking about, it is trained on what? Data which is generated on internet, in simple sense. Internet generated data, such as say Wikipedia data, data from Common Crawl, which has bunch of documents, then data from Reddit, so on and so forth. Now, this is the data which is taken, and humongous, huge amount of data is taken, and you train your large language model. Wonderful. What if someone says that, do you know what? I have very sensitive government data. Okay, I have government orders, gazettes, etc., which is not available on internet. Okay, so these large language models which exist, let's take example of ChatGPT, which is from OpenAI. A lot of people are aware, hence I'm taking this as an example. This is trained on, this is a large language model which is trained on internet generated data. But what if someone wants to ask question on government orders, gazettes, etc., which is not available on public domain, which is not available on internet? So your large language model such as ChatGPT is not trained on such data, on government orders. Yet, if I want to ask questions to ChatGPT, if I want to give it a prompt and ask a question from these government orders and gazettes, how will it work? It will work based on something called as RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. What this RAG technique does is, it will make use of large language model, and whenever you ask questions pertaining to specific government orders, etc., if you set up a system such that this RAG system knows that these are the documents, external documents, from which information should be pulled, then when you ask a question, it will go to these external documents, pull the data and give it to you. When you ask generic questions, like you're using ChatGPT now, when you ask, generic questions, it will go to the internet trained data and pull the data for you and give it to you. That's already trained. So ChatGPT has that information. But external documents, if you want to pull data from that and then give you the responses, then you'll have to go with something called as RAG. And now this field is so big that you have for each and everything set of processes and guidelines on how to build those applications. And hence, when it comes to machine learning applications, you have something called as machine learning operations, which will guide you step by step on what all happens and how to build your solutions. On similar lines, we have GenAI operations for generative AI. We have LLM, and we have large language models and LLM ops for that. RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, For that you have RAG ops. We will look at this, of course, and we will look at LLM ops to some extent. And we will see how much time we have. Based on that, we will decide upon GenAI ops and RAG ops. Okay. These two, we will see. Okay, I'm not guaranteeing you that we'll cover these aspects as well. Okay. Now, this is how LLM ops will look like, but I don't want to scare you guys at this point of time. We will get to this. I'll explain you in a detailed manner. And whenever you build a large language model, what are the different things that you have to consider step by step? We will look at all these aspects and we will demystify all these aspects. Okay. And I'm assuring you that towards the end, you'll have fair bit of understanding, not today's session, entire program. Once we complete, you'll have a fair bit of understanding. And if you have questions on, hey, are you recording these sessions? Are you going to give us access to these sessions? Absolutely. This is YouTube Live as well. The reason why we are doing this is because immediately after the session is done, we want this video lecture to be made available to you. You can speed it, fast it, you can scroll it, and then you can access it. Yeah. And it is available on our YouTube channel. So once again, this goes back to a specific point wherein I request you all to quickly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let me pull that and once again post it here so that you don't miss out. I don't want any one of you to miss out, friends. Any one of you to miss out. There you go. I request you all to quickly subscribe. I'll take 1 minute. Please don't miss out because the moment video, the moment we complete Zoom session, available to you for that purpose. Go ahead, please. I'm just disabling the option wherein you can unmute and talk so that the disturbance can be avoided. Just respond to me over chat window that, yeah, I'm done. If majority of you all say I'm done, I'll just move on with the session because we should not be delaying the session. I request everyone to do it. Towards the end, of course, I'll also tell you where we are going to post the questions, right, on our LinkedIn. There will be 5 questions per day. These questions, you can respond to those over the in the comment section. If you respond, the good part that's going to happen is we know that you were participative and we'll give you an opportunity alongside the certificate. We'll also give you an opportunity to work on real world projects. You can work with our team of data scientists and AI experts. And everyone, please quickly. Do you want me to post it again? One of you was asking me to post it again. Okay, that's the link of our YouTube channel. Quickly, we'll take just 1 more minute and we will move on. Okay, we have a lot of things to discuss, amazing things to discuss. I'll be walking you guys through a lot of real world projects that we have done as part of AI Sprite so that you get a fair bit of understanding. Done? Yeah, seems like y'all are still subscribing, but in the interest of time, let me move on. So, friends, AI Spry, that is our company under the umbrella of which we are doing projects for different clients. Okay. We have set it up in 2017. We have 182 plus people. We have a global presence. We are doing projects for different customers. Yeah. And the methodology that we follow, we will deep dive onto this methodology, which is called as CRISP MLQ methodology, where we do all these things, right? These are the various steps. However, all these steps will become clear as in how we traverse, right? It has a lot of steps which are listed down here. Okay, we broke down a few of the steps. This is a tailored version of CRISP MLQ. And what is the abbreviation of CRISP MLQ? Cross Industry. CR is for cross industry standard process ML stands for machine learning and Q stands for quality assurance. Okay, cross-industry standard process, machine learning, quality assurance. Oh my God, I'm not sharing my screen, is it? My bad. So sorry. So sorry. I thought sharing my screen. My bad. Okay. So let me move on and then tell you. Yeah. So AI Spry is a company which is specialized in AI and GenAI services. And we established ourselves in 2017. We have 122 plus people working now, including interns, of course. And we have our global presence. We have our head offices in India, Malaysia. We cater to ASEAN market, and we have a lot of customers. And I was saying that we have this methodology called as CRISP MLQ, which stands for Cross-Industry Standard Process for Machine Learning Quality Assurance, in which you have multiple phases. Ideally, in CRISP MLQ, we have 6 phases. However, we have split a few phases even further for better traction and better understanding. You will learn about this methodology. I'll teach you. I'll explain you. All right. Now let's get into this, quick discussion on, hey, what are a few of the projects that you have accomplished? Can you help us understand? All right. The first step is, whenever we go to the client, we try to understand what is the organization chart of the customer. What is the organization chart? Why do we need the org chart? Because I want to understand what are the various departments which exist. Why do I want to understand what are the various departments that exist? Because I want to understand what kind of data people are recording in a digital format. Digitally, what data people are recording, and what data are people recording on a piece of paper manually. Manually, what is the data that they are recording? And then we first tell to the customer that whatever data you're manually recording, we need to digitize it. And we build simple Python-based applications. Python-based applications. These Python-based applications will help the customer quickly record the data digitally. And once we get the data from different places, we want to store the data. We also look at storage aspects, data storage aspects. Is the customer having some place to store the data? Are they storing the data in a database? Or are they storing the data in a data warehouse? Data warehouse? Or are they storing the data in some kind of data lake? Where are they storing it? What is the difference between among these things is something which is out of scope, but yeah. So you first need to understand whether the data is digitally getting recorded or not. If it is manually getting recorded, you digitize it. Then decide whether customer is storing or not, or recommend certain things for the customer to store. This is step 1. You have to set the foundation right. Until and unless you have data, you cannot do anything. No AI, no Gen AI is possible if you don't have access to data. So first thing is record the data, store the data. Once you have the data available, the second thing is ask each of your department heads. Okay, you'll have department heads. Ask them on what kind of questions they have. Okay, ask them, hey, what are the questions you have? And what kind of reports and dashboards do you need? on a daily basis, okay, or a weekly basis, or a monthly basis. You ask what kind of data they would need. Now record all these things. Sorry, what kind of reports and dashboards do you need? And record all these things. Then you move on to the next step. And what do? You create interesting reports and dashboards. Okay. You create interesting. Why is this not? So sorry, 1 second. I assume this would happen. Okay. And then you go ahead and create certain reports and dashboards. Either you can create reports and dashboards using Tableau. There is a tool called as Tableau. Or you can create these kind of interesting reports, dashboards on Power BI. Or you can create using Click. Or you can use Python to create these kind of reports and dashboards. Creating reports and dashboards, okay, like this, is the job of a data analyst. And bringing the data from different places into a database or data warehouse, etc., is the job of a data engineer. Okay. And whatever work you're seeing here is also called as business intelligence. You're getting to the business and trying to give some intelligence to the management to act upon. I think this is the time to ask next question so that you all are engaged. Remember, you have to answer to the questions. And this question will be posted on YouTube also for people to respond. The question from my side is, which role creates reports and dashboards? Is it A, data analyst, or is it B, data engineer, or is it C, data scientist? Okay. Please, I request everyone to answer the same question. I would like our team to post it on YouTube channel so that everyone on YouTube channel also gets an opportunity to answer. Let me see whether everyone to answer the same question. So sorry. Yeah, wonderful. A lot of people are responding on the YouTube live also. I truly appreciate. We record all these things, by the way. Okay. And we will use it for your certificate, to provide a certificate also. And towards the end of the session, every session, we will have a certain number of questions. These questions, 5 questions on each day, we will post on our LinkedIn. You will have to answer on the comments section. And those people who answer throughout for all the days will not just receive a certificate, we'll also give you a special invite to come and join the real world projects that we are working on, right? So you'll work alongside our team of data scientists, our team of AI experts, and you'll gain the real world experience, which the other members won't have. So you'll have an edge. Maybe you might want to join another college. Maybe you want promotion in your college. Maybe you want to get into the industry and work. From all perspectives, it's going to help. Okay, wonderful. Thank you all so much for responding. Everyone more or less responded correctly. Yes, the right answer is data analyst. Now let's move on and let's look at a few other projects. What we also do is we try to look at after the reports and dashboards part is done. Let me put it here. The first part is business intelligence, creating reports and dashboards. Once this is created, we move to the second step. And the second step is understand the value chain. Understand the entire value chain. What do you mean by this? Okay, let's take an example of a typical steel manufacturing company. We will take example of a steel manufacturing company. Here, you'll have suppliers. What will suppliers do? They supply raw material. Raw material such as coal, iron ore, etc. Correct? Now, once you get the raw material, what would you do with this raw material? You'll process it. Process in the sense, you'll supply the raw material to machines. What will these machines then do? They will give you some output. This output can be steel pipes. Okay. And these steel pipes will be consumed by some consumer. Say, some kind of construction company. Say, My Home Constructions. Or Rajapushpa Construction, or some construction firms, yeah. They are going to take these steel pipes, they use it for their construction. When they construct big houses, they put all these steel pipes, as you think. So this is how the typical flow will be. Now, what we do is, we take initially only suppliers and raw material, and we look at what AI solutions are possible. What AI solutions are possible. And each step we do the same thing. What AI solutions are possible here? What AI solutions are possible here? So this, we will break it down and we'll try to see what can be done. Typically, when it comes to suppliers and raw materials, you can do certain projects. We will first talk about those projects. Okay. Let me not make it too complicated for you all to consume the content, right? So we do something called as forecasting. Forecasting is all about knowing the future. What kind of forecasting is possible? By the way, all these 4 projects that you're seeing here, 1, 2, 3, 4 projects are visible. All these are the 4 projects which we have done for 4 different customers. Okay, I'll take one customer as an example, this customer. So here, this particular steel manufacturing company usually procures steel. They buy steel, or sorry, they buy raw material such as coal and iron ore. Okay, coal, iron ore, etc. They procure from different countries. They buy it from different countries, such as Indonesia, South Africa, UK, etc. Now, the first question is, again, this is all question answer, right? You have questions and then you need answers to that. First question will be, how much quantity should you procure? . how much quantity? I mean, how many tons of coal or iron ore should you procure? How do you know? In the future, how much quantity should I procure for next 6 months? To answer this question, you should know the future, right? So what we do is we take the historical data. In the past, how many tons of coal or iron ore did you procure? Okay. And then we forecast month on month, week on week, day on day, how many tons of how many tons of coal and iron ore should you procure from different countries? You forecast this. Then you go ahead and ask the second question. What is the second question? At what price should I procure? To answer this question, you can forecast the price on what will be the price for the next 6 months, for the next 1 year, month on month. What will be the price of the coal? What will be the price of iron ore? You can forecast these things so that whenever the coal prices are, say, the least, people will go and procure. The third question is, how much quantity should be procured from each country? From Indonesia, how many tons should I procure? From South Africa, how many tons should I procure? From UK, how many tons should I procure? Such that the transportation cost and the inventory cost comes down. So by looking at these questions, you can, intelligently think on what can be done, right? So here, to answer the first question, what can you do? You can forecast quantity that is needed. For the second question, what can you do? You can forecast the prices of raw material. Forecast prices of raw material. To answer the third question, you can build an optimization algorithm, which will tell you how much quantity should be procured from each of the countries. Not just that, you can also include external factors, such as what will be the GDP of the country from which you're trying to procure, what will be the inflation rate, what are the labor laws, what are the sustainability aspects, what are the environmental laws. You can look into all these aspects and build an amazing solution for the customer who now knows how much quantity, at what price, how much from each of the countries should I procure, given the GDP, inflation, the stock value, so on and so forth of the different countries. So this is how you build forecasting models. Now, question to you all quickly again. What are the various things that can be forecasted based on the use case that we discussed? Okay, let me put that question. What are the various things that can be forecasted based on the use case we just discussed? Yeah, please can you answer this? And people who are on YouTube, yeah, our team will either post this or you go ahead and answer. I'm having YouTube open on one side so that I monitor the responses. Wonderful quantity of, yeah, go ahead, please. Great engagement, I should say. All the faculty members, I truly appreciate your zeal and desire to learn the real world things in the space of AI and Gen AI. Wonderful. A lot of people are responding. I truly appreciate it. It's just like my chat messages are appearing as if it's a Matrix movie. Those numbers which used to scroll, very fast. In that way it is scrolling. Great. And now people on YouTube started to respond. Great, guys. I truly appreciate. This really also motivates me to give you guys more information. Okay. So I should say that we also forecasted wooden pallets manufacturing, so if people are wondering on what is wooden pallet. So wooden pallets will look like this, right? We built a model which will forecast number of wooden pallets needed. Okay, by customers such as Instacart, Flipkart, Amazon, to all these customers they were supplying this particular client. We built a model for them as well. Okay. So quickly to tell you, in the end, first thing is look at your business intelligence reports and dashboards. Who does it? Data analyst. It will answer questions on what happened until now. The second thing is understand the value chain, where you try to understand who are the suppliers, what are the inputs that they are supplying. If you are procuring coal and iron ore, you know for a fact that you can forecast quantity, you can forecast price, you can then optimize, you can apply optimization algorithm to understand how much should be procured from each of the places so that you reduce the transportation cost. Once you have the inputs, coal and iron ore procured, and once it is there in your inventory, the next thing is the process itself, where you look at your machines, you supply your inputs to your machinery, which will produce the steel pipes in turn. Now here, what might go wrong is your machines itself might fail. And we built a similar kind of project for a client called as Snell Group. So Snell Group is a company. Okay. And Snell manufactures a lot of machines. And this particular machine that you're seeing here is called as Prima 13. Prima 13. So when these machines take input, these machines, have a lot of IoT sensors, Internet of Things. Anything which transmits the data over internet is called as Internet of Thing. Anything which transmits the data over internet is called as what? Internet of Thing. Okay. So you get the data from these machines and you get the data pertaining to sound. If the machine gives you weird sound, maybe something is going wrong. If your machine vibrates a lot, probably something is going wrong. If your machines are getting heated beyond a point, temperature, if it is very high, that means something is really going wrong, right? The hydraulic pressure, the spindle speed, all these details you have to collect. And so and once you get the data from all these sensors, you can do predictions. Number one, you can predict whether a machine will fail or not. Okay. Will machine fail or not fail. Point number 1. Second question is, if a machine is going to fail, when will it fail? When will this particular machine fail? This is called as survival analytics, a term derived from medical literature. If you are diagnosed with cancer, doctor might say that you will survive for 6 months, or you might survive for 8 years. Or doctor might say that, you know what, for your tumor, you have to give it, be given chemotherapy or medication for
Team, there will be connectivity issues. Barney will be joining in next 2 minutes.
Hey, sorry, friends. Glitch. My bad. Okay. All right. Let's go back to our discussion and let's continue the journey. So, so multiple things, right? One, you can predict whether a machine will fail or not. Will a machine fail or not fail? This is the first thing. Second thing is, if it is going to fail, when will a machine fail? This is called as survival analytics. Sorry about my voice. Okay. Survival analytics. Sometimes it happens. Then the third thing is which component might fail. Now I want you all to get a little innovative and tell me which component might fail. If I do this prediction, whom will it help? Yeah. Whom will it help, friends? If I predict whether a machine will fail or not, how is it going to help? Yeah, go ahead. I would like to hear from you. I'll meanwhile reduce the load on my machine by closing a lot of documents which are available. I just want to reduce some load on the machines, yeah. Yes, yes. You can use a chat window, please. I would highly recommend you all to use chat window. Where is a Zoom thing gone? Not able to see the Zoom screen. Yeah. Do you have a question, Anil, for me? You have raised your hand. Oh, I can see your responses. Good, wonderful. We can provide the details on which component might fail to the inventory management team. And what will happen to the inventory management team? They will procure only the key components and keep it in their inventory. Why should they place an order for all the components? A. B. After machine fails, if you place an order, it will take some time for the component to reach you. Until then, your machine cannot be used. So that is going to reduce the productivity as well. So these are a few things that we have done in the space of machine failure. Now, we did a few projects in the space of wind turbine failure also. So quickly, to once again explain you, what is the first thing, friends, you have to do? You have to look into business intelligence, reports and dashboards. That's the first thing. Who does this? Data analyst. Who gets the data and gives it to a data analyst? Data engineer. Second thing is understand the value chain. In the value chain, you will have suppliers who will supply what? Inputs, such as coal, iron ore, etc. in the example that we were discussing. These inputs will then be given to your machines, which will process and then give you what? Outputs. Once you get an output, there are a lot of interesting things that you can do. And let's talk about these applications. So we discussed about here, we discussed that we can do some kind of forecasting. Here we discussed that we can do machine failure prediction model. Okay. And when it comes to output, which is the finished item, say steel pipes, etc., what can be done is something that we will talk about. We'll use these outputs, some consumers will use it. Okay. So we discussed a lot of things. Here we discussed that you can forecast what? You can forecast the quantity which is needed. You can also forecast the price of the raw material. You can also end up building something which is really different, which is called as optimization algorithm. It's not part of forecasting. It's a different thing altogether. Optimization algorithm itself can be built. And when it comes to prediction model, we spoke about whether a machine as a whole will fail or not. And if a machine is going to fail, when will a machine fail? Survival analytics. Third thing is, which component might fail? And this information can be given to what? Your inventory management team. So first of all, you need to understand the entire system on how AI can be applied. Once you get a fair bit of understanding on this, then you can think about the technicalities. Okay. So let's take output, and we are using an example of what? A steel manufacturing company, right? Once a steel manufacturing company manufactures the steel pipe, what else can you do? That is the output which you get. But what kind of AI is possible in this space? For that, let's understand object identification. Here, I will directly take your attention to one of the business problems, which is very interesting, especially in the space of, steel pipe. And then I'll talk about other business problems which we have solved. Let me share my screen and show you this. So this is a project for one of the steel pipe manufacturing company, where the project that we have done is, once the steel pipes are manufactured, when customers place an order, someone will manually count on how many pipes customer has placed an order for, and they'll put it on the truck. Once you place all these different pipes on the truck leaves and supplies all these pipes to the suppliers. What if one of your customer calls you and says that, hey, I placed an order for 100 pipes, but I put only 99 pipes. What if some fraud is happening? What if the truck driver has sold two pipes somewhere? Okay. In the truck, you load a lot of pipes and supply it to, say, 5 suppliers. What if the truck driver sells only 1 pipe from each of the supplier? And supplier calls you and says, your customer calls you and says that, hey, I ordered 100, you're giving me only 99. Happens, right? So those kind of issues can be avoided through object detection. Any object can be detected, and that's called as object detection. So again, to quickly tell you, you will have your suppliers who will supply the input, which is raw material. In this case, in steel manufacturing company case, right? You take that input and you process it through machines, and you manufacture output, which is, say, steel pipes. And here you can do what? Object detection. And then ultimately you'll have your consumers or customers. Something is not writing properly. Okay. So these are the kind of projects and problems that can be solved. Let me now show you a few other projects which can be solved, which we have done basically. The entire data from IoT sensors was actually procured by us. We have set up a system to get the data from those IoT sensors. All right, a few of the interesting projects now are coming your way. So this is for a customer who generates electricity using solar panels. And their ask was that please detect the faulty panels. So what we have done is we have flown drones on top of the 150-acre solar plant. And this, drone, which has multispectral sensor camera, will detect or will capture the images of all these panels. And then these images are supplied to our AI solution, which will detect whether the panels are damaged. Does it have physical damage or electrical damage? Does it have excessive dust or bolt drop? Then the technician can quickly go to exactly that panel and fix it. We have another company which is into manufacturing. There they get the scrap from the surrounding regions, and this scrap is segregated and then goes into the burning furnace. Okay. When it goes into the burning furnace, certain flammable items also can go, like cylinders, shock absorbers, etc. If these items go into the burning furnace, it will cause a blast, killing people, surrounding. So our solution will detect whether there are flammable items or not, like cylinders, shock absorbers, etc. Is my voice clear? Or is there any disturbance? Now, as I talk, is my voice clear? Yeah, perfect. Sorry, sometimes because of the overload of the file, it's this problem. This is for one of the leading Swedish automobile companies, where this worker is going to put the engine chassis on the fixture and close the clamps. If incorrect clamping sequence is followed, the machine learning algorithm, which is put on IoT device, Raspberry Pi, will real-time detect something is going wrong or not, and then raise an alarm. Alarm is it will glow the entire floor in red color. That is an indication to the technician and the worker that something is going wrong. Then we built a solution for another customer from Bhubaneswar, where we built a solution which will automatically count how many 8 mm, 10 mm, 12 mm steel rods exist in the. Okay, because people don't know how many are existing in the inventory, automatically it counts. Then we built a solution in the space of construction, where you have these kind of construction drawings. From the drawings, people have to create an Excel sheet, which is called as bar bending schedule or BOM, right? Bills of material. In this, you'll have the details of how many steel rods are needed, what diameter steel rods are needed, what should be the weight of the steel rods, what should be the shape of the steel rods, all these things, right? And our solution, it takes approximately 8 hours, it seems. Our solution will do it in under 8 seconds. You just upload these drawings, click on process, it will automatically come up with an Excel sheet like this. This is called as a bar bending schedule. Then we built a solution in the space of poultry, chick, where from CCTV, we capture the videos of the chicks and we get the details such as whether the chicks are 1 week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old. Is the weight of the chick increasing in line with the timelines or not? And we also put a thermal sensor which will capture the body temperature of these chicks. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes my voice is breaking. Tomorrow I'll ensure it doesn't happen. It is because of the restart which happened, right? Suddenly my machine. This is for one of the pharma companies where they manufacture vials and pre-filled syringes. Our solution will automatically count how many vials, how many pre-filled syringes are manufactured, and it will store the data in the backend database. And then generative AI solution is built, where you just issue a prompt. How many vials are manufactured in the last 6 days? How many pre-filled syringes are manufactured and supplied to northeastern belt of India? It will automatically pull the data and give the results to you. So the prompt gets converted into SQL query. It will go to the database pull the data and give it to you. Then pipe, anyways, I've shown you. In that way, component detection. Then we also have something called as object or image classification. I would rather rename right away so that you also know on what I'm doing, right? It is always better to call these kind of solutions as image classification solutions. In image classification solutions, you take the complete image and classify. Say you don't have kids. Naturally, if you don't have kids, then you go with a treatment called as in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization, you take the sperm from male, oocyte from female, fertilize outside to form something called as embryo. This image that you're seeing is called as embryo. Doctors or embryologists, what they do is they take embryo image and they decide whether this embryo is of good quality or not. Okay, so as opposed to doctors taking a decision whether embryo is good or bad, you can take that image, supply to a solution, which will automatically tell you whether it is good or bad. If it is good, implant into the woman's womb. Otherwise, don't do it. Because the embryologists will implant the embryo into the woman's womb, and after a few months, after a few weeks, rather, will come to know whether she is pregnant or not. What if she is not pregnant? You clean the womb again and cycle 2 repeats. Every cycle will cost you roughly 1.25 to 2 lakhs, which is costly. It also causes a mental strain. Will I become pregnant or not? That is going to cause a lot of mental stress to the people. So our solution handles that. Okay. Finally, you must be wondering, this guy told GenAI, where is GenAI? Finally, yeah. So the solutions that I've shown you until now are as follows. Let me write it. Maybe there won't be any issue. First, business intelligence reporting dashboarding. Second, after understanding the entire value chain, we looked at a few real-time projects in the space of forecasting. We also looked at a few real-time projects in the space of prediction, machine failure prediction. Then we looked at solutions such as object detection. And this embryo project, which we have just discussed, is part of image classification. There is a new branch which came up, which is called as generative AI. This is very, very interesting. Here, when we discussed about forecasting, I also spoke about optimization. Object detection, I told that how many vials pre-filled syringes are manufactured, you store that information on the backend database, and then you can build a GenAI solution on that. You can ask basic questions such as how many vials are manufactured. This prompt gets converted into SQL query, and then you go and fetch the data from database and display the results to the end customer who is asking you that on the screen. Okay. And GenAI, while it generates text, images, videos, audio file, etc., we will predominantly talk about text. This part we will focus upon. Okay. Couple of examples or projects that we have done, and then I will stop for the day. Tomorrow will be a new day. Tomorrow we will discuss about CRISP-MLQ framework, a little bit about machine learning operations, a little bit about LLM operations. Okay. Then we will move further. So first I'll talk about what we're going to, let's discuss this. One of my friend is CEO of a hospital called as Rela Hospital. Okay, Dr. Ilan Kumaran. 80% of liver-related surgeries, etc., in India happens in Rela Hospital in India. It's in Chennai. Saying that, you know what? We have a lot of processes to be followed. We have a lot of protocols. We have a lot of procedures to be followed in the hospital. Say I'm moving a patient from liver specialty to heart specialty. Then a lot of processes, protocols, procedures have to be followed. And our healthcare administrative staff might forget a few things because there are a lot of processes, protocols, procedures to be followed. Sometimes they forget a few things. Can you help? So what we have done is, we have picked up a large language model which is specifically trained on medical literature. Why it should be trained on medical literature? Why can't I use, say, ChatGPT kind of application? Because ChatGPT kind of application is trained on internet data, Wikipedia data, etc. So we picked up LLMs which are trained on medical literature. And those large language models, we again trained them, which is called as fine-tuning. We fine-tune on the hospital documents. Now what happens is, if the medical representatives, nurses, healthcare administrators have any questions, they can just ask a question here. They can also issue a voice prompt. And immediately it will give you the complete process which has to be followed. That way you don't miss out on anything. If you know the process which has to be followed, you don't miss out. Right? And you follow the entire process because you're dealing with the lives of people. We will talk about these kind of things in further detail. GenAI solution. Next. There is also another GenAI solution which we have built for Uttarakhand government, where there are a lot of ministries, right? Like Railway Ministry, Roads and Buildings Ministry, your Commerce Ministry, etc., etc. There'll be a lot of government orders, government policies. Everyone cannot remember everything. So we, again, fine-tune the large language model on government literature, government orders and gazettes. Now, if people have any questions, they can just issue the prompt and they get the responses. There are a lot of other successfully delivered projects which we have done. We have done projects for Dr. Reddy's, Pandrol, which is railway equipment manufacturing company. We have done projects in the space of cement manufacturing. We did projects in the space of ESG, environmental social governance. Right, we did projects in the space of healthcare. You just need to take a photo, upload, and it will tell you what kind of treatment has to be given to your skin. We did projects for Tata, Hitachi. We are doing projects for railway department. We are doing projects in the space of satellite images. Tamil Nadu Paper Limited. You take the satellite images and tell whether the trees are ripe to be harvested or not. If you're going to harvest 1 acre of land, are you planting for another 1 acre somewhere to save the planet? Many, many things. These are all generative AI solutions, right? Whatever you're seeing on the screen now. Whatever projects we do, we also publish it on the research paper, on the international journals. So faculty members, once again, the reason why I'm showing you this is because if you want to be part of our real world projects and get yourself added to one of these research paper publications, you can. Provided for all the days you're active and provided for all the days you answer the questions on our LinkedIn. These are all the various kinds. Fortuna Entertainment Group is into sports betting. We're doing projects for them also. And these are the various awards and accolades that we got over the period of years. Right, all these are the different awards and accolades. Yeah. So I'll stop here without bothering you too much. And let me tell you that there will be 5 questions which will be posted. Or let me share the screen as well. And tell you. 5 questions every day. Okay. And it will be posted on 360DigiTMG page. Only 5 questions will be posted here. Okay. And you are supposed to answer in the comments section. This is the admin dashboard, I think. Let me just take the company details and or let me go to page. Maybe. Oh, view as a member. Let me do this. Let me view as a member. Yeah, this is how it will look like, friends. Okay. Here, the question will be posted. And you'll have to go to this particular post and mention on the comments. That's it. Give your answers on the comment. We'll come to know who commented, whether it's the right answer or the wrong answer. But when we post, you should be notified, right? There'll be a follow option. Just follow and then you'll be notified. Whenever we post the question, you'll be notified. You'll be given 24 hours time. Okay. You can respond to these questions in the next 24 hours. By the time we start the session tomorrow, you should be able to answer. Okay, friends. Thank you so much for patiently attending until now. Tomorrow, once again, we will talk about CRISP MLQ. Not once again, we'll talk about CRISP MLQ, machine learning operations, large language model operations, and we will discuss how you need to handle a project end to end. Okay. And then we will also have theory and practicals. Thank you all. All the best for your future. Hope you all have enjoyed. Thank you. Please follow that LinkedIn page also so that the moment question is posted, you are notified. Thank you all. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.